Hey everyone, welcome to another update of the Adirondack Valley Central. Okay, it is April 2016, and I believe a couple of months ago I've had the last update. And this update is actually, it came quick because I've been doing a lot more work on the layout, a lot of new things. As you can see here, there's some wood that's up here, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. So let's get started. So the first change that you can see right away is that the layout has been positioned in a different place in the living room. I did this so I could have more of a living space, since I'll be purchasing a couch. And I like an area where I could watch television and also watch the trains run at the same time. And if I want to have company over, at least you can see most of the layout on one side, and there's still enough room to go around the other side here to the patio door, and you can see the other side, and makes the layout almost bigger than it is because you only see half the layout. And when you get to the other side, there's a lot more to see, so it keeps the viewer interested and occupied, seeing all the different things on this layout. Okay, so let's get started. Usually I start my updates on the far right of the layout, but now it's against the wall, so I'm going to start on this side, and we're going to start with the town of Joanne. And there's a lot of new things going on here, and some things that have been added from my old layout that I finally received from New York. Over the holidays for Easter, I went over to New York, came back with a lot of stuff. I drove this time, so I came back with a lot more stuff than usual, a lot more trains too, a lot of new purchases as well from train shows that haven't ran on this layout yet, which I have in the layout, and I'll show you those purchases later on. So for here, for the station in the town of Joanne, we have the platform, which I just finished about a few minutes ago. And I have a couple walkways underneath the tracks there. It's hard to see in the video, so I'm not going to bother moving the cars out of the way. Okay, currently here positioned are all the buildings that are in the town of Joanne. To the right, I finally received the Mike's Train House, train store. And in position now is the 20th Century Limited Diner from K-Line, and all the other buildings that I've recently did makeovers with. I think I've showed you in the last update. If not, I repainted them and did some weathering on them, and there's a lot more detailed stuff have to be done with them. They're just there right now to sit there for the time being. But yeah, that's what the town's going to look like when it's finished, of course, with walkways, people, telephone poles, roads, etc. And so over here, go this way, I have did some ground cover by the tower itself with a little gravel. Still not sure if I'm going to keep all the bases of the buildings, not sure yet. Where the Southern Engine locomotive is, that's where I'm going to have the gazebo, the time clock, and eventually a big American flag. Okay, so the new part of the layout is this extension here that I'm currently building. This is going to be an industry and an interchange with CSX. I officially decided that I want the layout to be ran like a real railroad, as the Adirondack Valley Central, not just the name of a layout, but the actual name of a short line. A fictional short line that runs in the Adirondack Mountains to interchanges with CSX off the Mohawk Division. Since I worked on a railroad, the Adirondack Scenic Railroad, I got a lot of ideas from that. And plus, I have a buddy of mine here in Nashville who has a fantastic HO layout called the Reading Wilmington and Northern Branch. And he does a lot of operation, a lot of switching, and I've enjoyed operating on his layout so much that I like to do that with my layout as well. Maybe eventually I'll do waybills and set up a time clock and stuff like that. I have enough locomotives and cars to do this. And the future extension is going to have a switch coming out here, another switch, 2 tracks going all the way down. The left track where those cars are, I'll zoom it in if you didn't see them before. Sorry guys. That track is going to be the interchange with CSX. And a track to the right will be an industry, and I have decided to do a brewery. Now in the Adirondacks, they make their own root beer, or they make their own beer. I remember having it up there, so I was thinking, oh, it'd be cool to have a brewery, and so decided to have an interchange with it. So it's like almost like a staging track, so I can store extra cars on. When I'm doing an operating session, I'll actually have it realistically, the cars set where they're supposed to be on the track, and along with the brewery and the interchange. So I have 2 tracks along the station, so I'm able to do some switching. Okay, for the bridge scene, not really much has changed. The only things I've really done was just weathered some of the rocks more with a little burnt umber and darkened with some black. They give us some more character. It's just slate gray all the way through. So you can see a couple of the variation of rock that I have. Darkened some of it to represent that it's been splashed by water, because eventually there's going to be a waterfall on this section over here. You can see I filled out some of the trees a little more. I was able to bring back a lot of my trees from New York from the old layout, and added some foliage, autumn foliage on it. So I still got to buy a lot more trees. This is only probably like half the trees that are going to be on here. I need like another whole other set of trees to fill in even more. It's a deep forest. And over here in this section here, I have a fence from the old layout where I started fixing up, and eventually it's going to go over there. I don't want people falling off the edge and dying on my rug. It's not really a nice scene. And so we'll go down here for the bridge. My friend who has that Reading layout, he has offered to help me with the bridge. He's going to be building them out of foam for me, and they're going to be arch bridges. About like 3 arches with a nice stone bridge. This will all be ballast eventually. I did some work in the riverbed. I really don't like the way it came out. So I'm going to be redoing that. I have another friend of mine from New York who's going to be helping me with that as well. Always have friends in this hobby. Never do anything on your own, because you can always learn ideas and they can always learn from you. Okay, this section, not much has really changed except for a couple more trees, a little more ground cover in the rocks themselves, as you can see here. And I finally painted that wire gray, so it kind of blends a little better. I'm going to add a little tint of black and a little bit of slate gray and give it another coat. That's really darkens and matches the rock. Okay, so here on the other side of the layout, this is against the window and the other wall. I'm debating it, but I think I'm going to put a backdrop on that wall, just a poster, and just pin it to the wall. Something really easy, really quick, that won't harm the wall nor paint on it, because I think I would get killed by the landlords if I ever did that. Now you're probably saying to yourself, oh look, he's building more. Yeah, this is going to be another industry, and it's going to be a bakery. My buddy of mine with the Reading layout, again, you know, he's really good with operations, and he knows a lot of things, and I couldn't think for the life of me what the heck to have as an industry. I thought about glass factory or stuff like that. He's like, well, why don't we have a bakery? I said, it's New York, you know, maybe they'll ship stuff down to New York City from down the Adirondacks. I'm like, oh yeah, they could do that. Even Utica, for that matter, since my ran through Utica as well. If the New York I don't know if the New York Central ever done that, but it'd be nice just to have a bakery. And I'm thinking about doing a little bakery, so I could have 3 cars on that siding, and I will have the river going underneath into arches, and we'll go underneath the factory and come back out through the other side. You won't see, that's not going to be existing on layout, but that's what you would guess that will happen. So, I mean, really not much has changed. Some ground cover work, some more trees have been added. The only thing added here out of nostalgia is my grandfather's old Lionel lighted tower here. You can see right over here. Debating if I should rewire it, get new bulbs. I got to do some work on it. And I mean, it's authentic. It's real. It's from the 50s, I believe. The mid-50s or the end of the 50s. Still has the Lionel plate on there. That's going to be over there. And to me, it looks like the most realistic thing than half the stuff that's out there. And they did a great job in the 50s, in my opinion, when it came to these type of accessories. You need a better look at the tower. I have to go loose here without the tripod if you don't mind. Get some stuff up here. And I brought this home thinking I had room for it. Didn't realize I had no room for it until I was like, huh, I can have it up there. And here's the K-line. It's the billboard accessory, which I had on the old layout. And I couldn't find a place to put it. I was like, heck, I put it on top of the mountain where half the people could see it, except for airplanes. I don't know how the heck the guy got up there, but he's been working there for a long time. And he's doing a good job trying to put that billboard up. So I moved a couple of trees around, and still got more trees to put on here. Trying to block it just enough that way you could see it, but you have to really look for it. And you're like, oh, there it is, you know. It will light up eventually. You have to run the wires the same way I've done with the other accessories and paint them and try to cover them with some trees. Here's another look at the industry. And I've done the roadbed for the waterfall and Little Creek that's going to go through. And again, it's going to continue here, and it's going to stop right over here by the track. And it's going to go into a little archway. That way, it goes underneath the industry. Not have to worry about another bridge. And speaking of bridges, my friend's also building this bridge as well. This is also going to be an arch made out of foam, which will be stone arch bridge. All right, here's a section of the. Not much has changed over here. Maybe I did some more painting on the rocks, a little more, give some more character. I think it looks a lot better. A little more ground cover, but that's about it on this section, other than the new industry that's gonna be built. Okay, just in case I haven't showed you guys some of the stuff that I've illuminated. Here's the tower. Still got some details to put inside it. Here's the freight shed as well. And here's the engine shed. That's part of the, from Lionel. U-boat sitting inside there. And up here we got the fire. And the lighted beacon on top. Okay, here's some of my purchases from train shows. This is a Union Pacific automobile car. Road Streamlines. I just fell in love with the look of that car. I just like the lettering on it. This is the MTH Premier line, as well as this DTX wood car here. These things actually come out. So that's another MTH Premier line purchase. Another purchase is this chassis system car. So it'll fit well on the layout with the CSX, and that'll probably be used with the bakery. It also has his B&O on the side, so we got both B&O and chassis system on the one car. I really like that. That's almost like the merger car, which I really liked. That's also MTH Premier line, and I believe that's all the cars I purchased recently. But a lot of the cars that you see on the layout are ones that have been in New York and I brought back. So I'm trying to run those a little bit now. Okay, so here we are in my living room, and you're from the couch point of view. And I just wanted to show you the space I have here. You know, between my television and with the layout. So the layout's going to be right over here, and I'm able to view the trains while sitting down on the couch and relax. And it's also great for where I have company come over. They can come view the layout, they can walk around, or they can even sit and just relax, and we could talk and have the trains run. Although maybe it'll get annoying with the sounds of the locomotive, I'll just shut it off. Here are my coffee table, and on my coffee table I always have the new train magazines out, and some of the new drumming magazines out. To the left, since it was Conrail's birthday, I have the new train magazines from Conrail that represent Conrail's 40th birthday, and that's Railroad Model Craftsman, Rail Fan of Railroad, Old Gauge Railroad, Model Railroader, and Classic Toy Trains. Among my favorite magazines in the whole world. And what you can see here that you're watching this video, you can see we know George from the Franklin and South Manchester This is a DVD from trainmasters.tv. It's a layout toward volume 2. I'll show you DVD right here. 12 layouts in all, 2 DVDs. Here's the back of it. There's Big George himself. Very nice gentleman, by the way. As you can see here in the video. Great guy, great modeler, great talent. And this DVD, they have a lot of YouTube videos and stuff, and I realized they have a video that you can purchase. And they have this, the volume 2. They also have volume 1. There's a lot of stuff on the store itself. Let me see if I can get in the camera here. Sorry, folks. There it is. There's the website. That's MRH. There's also stuff on YouTube, so you can watch. And these are all the layouts. A lot of stuff to see here. So as these credits are rolling, I'm gonna get going here and run some trains and relax and maybe have a drink. But this has been end of the update. As a conclusion, I want to say keep working on your layouts, and you guys are invited here anytime to run some trains. So let's get out this blurriness here. We want some nice footage here. Oops, sorry guys. There we go. So take care, guys. Have a great week.